What's up? I'm Grizz. Welcome back. Heavenly Delusion episode 5, I believe. Listen, all I know is we got a lot of messed up stuff going on inside of our tomato heaven over here, and we got some adventuring to still do on the outside and figure out how we can get back to them. I don't know. I'm excited to see where that goes. Before we start as well, I wanted to bring up the idea that while I was editing, I started thinking a little bit last week about the idea that we possibly could be playing with timelines. I don't know if this is like possible at all, but like the idea, I guess, of these two stories we're seeing not actually going on at the same exact time is something that's very interesting to me. So I don't know, but I think I'm going to operate under the assumption that they are going on the same time until I have more like clarification as to this possibly might be on different timelines. So we'll see from there. If you like it all, hit the like and subscribe. Do mean a lot to me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion and leave any comments about this episode or the series in general. Also recommend me any other shows you might want to see me watch at some other point, whether it's airing right now or has in the past before, or maybe it is sometime in the future. Let's get going though with episode 5. 400,000. What is the currency we use in this world though? Is it just Japan? It's still a lot of money though. Ah. We tried. I hate these subs. They say video game, like I don't need that. Listen, it was the only version I could get right now. Up. I like how he's so messed up by that still. Sorry, I was blowing off some steam. Yeah. Oh. Oh my god. I fucked him up bad. He's just getting into it though. He's excited. We better fight. It's one of those you gotta take that first hit to really get your mindset in the right place to get going. Oh. This my brother. No. They just grow back at the end of the day, no. Gotta do something to stop the bleeding though. That's bad. You ever had a fucking tooth fall out or pulled? This shit don't stop bleeding, dude. Oh. This was big. This is big. I wanted to learn about you. Okay, so like an orphanage type of thing. But I guess the disaster went on, so that's probably all there was. Okay. Wow. This is the one we saw a couple episodes ago. I'm just trying to figure out if this is something I should be happy about. Didn't treat you like human. We'll keep that in mind. That happens sometimes. But sometimes you also just start summarizing it and noticing less, so. Didn't look at me as human. Why I need to go to heaven. Only I can do it. I might have done it once though, but it was just advertising. Is that what he was a part of? Mario, that is. You could be very valuable for a group of people who want that, yeah. Just act as you usually do, yeah? The good old days. But it's also the rumors and ideas of why he's so strong. Because normal people probably just can't fight like that.
なんで僕が得意になってんだ。マルは警護対象の他人だ。目的を果たしたら、また僕は一人になるんだ。
But it could be the idea of seeing him grow or not needing to actually protect as much. Oh, it's open. Uh-oh.
おい、マル。
Bag's still here. Are we thinking they came and found them, or are we thinking man-eater? Or he just ran away? Yeah. Thought it was the time we're finally gonna end up being alone. Just the fear that just had, yeah. Yeah. At the thought of being alone or losing somebody. Yeah. Becoming reliant on somebody else. Be careful what you're poking around with, brother. So they tried to destroy him. Yeah. Right. I'd have to go into the past, I wonder. And then we flash here. So it leads you to be under the impression and idea that this is all same time, but it's kind of... I'm still sus on it. But like I said, we're going to operate like that. Okay, and there's your footprint that we were concerned about last week. Yeah, fuck. Who was it here? Yeah. Oh, also, I learned last week, I was doing the best boy and best girl polls on Anime Trending because I'd be doing those. And I learned last week that Tokyo is a girl, so I apologize for getting that wrong for the past multiple weeks. Hey kid, let me see your shoes. Our brother has passed away. We will pour one out for the king. It is over. You've lost a man. The first character we saw in this entire show. He's gone. We'll be inspecting your shoe for footprints. Oh. Yeah. Wow. The poor dude, bro. But it makes you wonder, was he actually, like, normal sick, or were they experimenting him, like, with him in some sort of way and it fucked him up really bad? He's just another one of the failed ones, you know? I'm really curious what they do exactly with the man-eaters and all that. Yeah, sure. Don't want to talk about that. I wonder if he, as fucked up as it might be to say it, feels he's lucky to finally kind of be free in a way. Because he seemed to have been scared to be here. This is the second one. And Asura killed himself, or herself. Born into a body that could not bear its own. Ooh. Ooh. That's interesting. But they're not. They're putting them next to each other. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and look at some of that. Yeah, it's almost a passing rate, you know. It's just based on my opinion. That's probably the least safe place to be, though. Oh. I don't remember which one he was, but that's alright. Probably the dude who asked before, yeah. If you want to come with us, sure. A doctor, that might be what we're looking for. Was it this guy? I don't know, okay. We gotta go, though. It's not gonna be him, but... Yeah. How am I supposed to take you if I don't know? Huh. So is that what we're doing inside of the Utopia? We're taking parts of these man-eaters that we're growing and putting them onto people in order to... Ooh. And he's doing this in his own... trying to become immortal. Strange people. But these are strange people for sure. Things should be coming together a lot quicker than I thought. Uh-oh. What happened? Did he also... I don't know. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know really where I want to begin talking about this episode, so I'm just gonna go through certain scenes and just kind of discuss things on my mind, and we'll leave it off at that. For the first half, we get to see Kiro and Maru's kind of relationship and bond and growth and stuff between them a bit more, with Maru getting to a fight at the beginning and being able to completely mess up like 8 different dudes that were there. We find out some places like where they've been hiding out, the things they've been doing, selling stuff, trying to get money, trying to plot out where they're going to go next, and kind of use that money to gain knowledge and information and stuff, and figure out where they want to go from there. All standard stuff and all understandable. Along the way, though, we get to see how Kiro seems to be becoming more and more proud of Maru in a way, developing their relationship in some sort of way, but not fully being able to grasp why, like, these are the kind of feelings, especially considering the fact that Kiro's main job here is to literally just protect, and that's all. We get to learn a little bit about Maru's past. It seems Maru had a very similar past, I guess, in a way, of being sort of orphan-like, as Kiro was. Maru was born exactly when the great disaster that they had struck, or at least the same year, and was kind of brought upon from that point on. We find out, I don't remember the name that they said here, but we find out that there's like some sort of group, and basically they go out of their way and try and find people to bring along with them who are just very skilled or good at certain things. There's still rumors about groups like this still existing, and Kiro heard these things before. A lot younger from, I don't know if it was Robin or the doctor, but whoever it was, and being told all these things just kind of has that in the back of his mind, doesn't really want to, and still considers all that stuff to kind of just be rumors. Where on the other hand, despite that we have heard the story now, so Kira didn't really put it all together, it does appear that Maru might have been in a similar situation to that, because we do find out that Maru kind of had different leaders in which he was following, and basically somebody would just come in and kill one of the leaders and then he would just continue to follow them. So Maru, it seems like, gained a lot of his strength and ability to fight and everything else that he has going for him through that. We find out the girl that Maru was kind of with, his leader, I think it was his leader. I'm sorry, I can't remember names at all for the life of me, but we find out that apparently there were a few things and orders or whatever that Maru ended up having from her, and we just know the fact that Maru is supposed to go out of his way to find this person who is a lookalike and give them this drug or whatever that it is that he has. We still don't understand the reasonings or anything behind the stuff that he's doing, and it seems like Maru never really pried and tried to figure that stuff out. Just kind of went along with things, but also finds out that Maru is special and unique, and Maru has this special power in which we've seen before, the Maru touch, in which Kiro ends up calling it, but we end up finding out that Maru's the only one who has this, so it does make him special and unique. Why that's the case, what exactly is Maru? We talked about before, I don't remember who said it earlier this episode, but somebody said how Maru doesn't seem like he's human, or maybe not that he doesn't seem like he's human, but he seems different than others, which is something that raises a lot of suspicion from me. What exactly is Maru? What exactly does he have going on? Was he experimented in some sort of way? Why is he the way that he is? But it's also weird if he was born exactly when this disaster struck. This utopia world probably didn't exist prior to him gaining that power. So why does he have that? Is it some sort of disease, or is it some sort of thing that kind of just gets put into you and developed, in which we find out later with the thing that the cremated version of Taro ended up like developing or leaving behind, whatever that was, and we consider that to possibly be something that is infectious and bad in a way. Is it something similar to that, in which kind of latched on and developed into Maru from a young age, and that's why Maru is special? Or is it something similar to what the dude who came from the ship was talking to us later on about how you can gain this kind of unlimited like life form in a way if you kind of combine yourself some sort of way with man-eaters or parts from them? Was the man-eater something that kind of got developed early on, or were they the reason for the disaster that struck, and for that reason something attached to Maru when he was younger, but for some reason he had some sort of immunity? Was it due to this, and now he's able to develop certain powers and traits? I feel like I'm just kind of saying some random things and rambling here, but this is one of those shows where I'm not really sure what everything that's going on. While it does make sense in the proper flow, like an order in which you're watching it, it leaves you with questions, and it kind of puts me in a position here where, while I'm trying to talk about it, as I just said at the beginning, I don't know how to really start things. I really don't know, so I gotta kind of just talk out what kind of happened and maybe form some shit from there and go from there, and then use that sort of knowledge to help me in future weeks in understanding the story as it progresses a little bit more. But we do see Kiru's relationship with Maru develop a bit more as he becomes a bit more nervous and scared when Maru's completely gone, and thinking that Maru left him all alone and he's now going to have to be out on his own and not know exactly where to go, and why he's becoming so reliant on somebody else, even though Maru ends up going back up and we find out he was just, doing his thing to some porn. It was like, I don't know, it's interesting to see the relationship in which is building between the two, which I like a lot, because we do see a lot of parallels between the Utopia and out here, specifically throughout this episode, but all the other past episodes, where one of them seems to be talking about things that happens with mutation and gaining extra life and stuff through man-eaters, and then we see in the facility in which they are working on doing something similar, it appears. But we also do see in the facility a lot of the kids growing up and kind of experimenting with romance and their feelings and all of that with other people, and we kind of see that on the opposite end here, with Maru having the interest in Kiro, and Kiro not being too sure about where he's at mentally because of the situation being in the sister's body and having all this stuff going on. But it seems like Kira's kind of growing this attachment a little bit more to Maru, but whether that's just in a protective, like motherly, fatherly, parental situation, or if it's in a romantic type relationship, like way that it's feeling, that's one of those things, I guess, that's more yet to be seen. I'd argue it's probably more parental or sibling like, but it's still something to keep an eye on that's possibly happening, and it is these parallels that kind of seems to be going between all of them with building these relationships. Tokyo's footprint was found, and one of the doctors is now becoming a little bit sus about what exactly is going on, and whose footprint it would have been, and who kind of came in and what was exactly going on, and now what they know. Seems like they are trying to keep things very, very secret about what's going on. Taro ended up passing away, and everybody kind of broke down and was upset about it. We find out that most of the kids are kind of suspecting that Taro died from the same thing that one of the other past children has died from. And as far as we're aware too, now 2 children have died from what we're told. And even the way that they speak on it, it seems like only 2 have died, unless they are hiding some stuff and don't really want to report their death counts, because why would they want to tell all the kids about all that anyways? But also, why would they want to be open about that? Regardless, it seems like 2 of them have died, and the way that they kind of explained it or showed it off to the kids makes it seem like the first one also died from something very similar to what Taro just died from, but that doesn't seem to be the case. The first one, it appears, unless it was some absolute crazy shit, just from this one scene where we can see Kona kind of looking over the edge and looking at this thing just in the sky, it appears the child previously kind of hung themselves. That would be what I guessed, or suicide was the choice here. And the facility, the people in charge, are kind of trying to hide that fact, and only Kono's the one who really knows the truth, and Kono's still trying to protect that and not show the others exactly what's going on, because Kono probably wants to not send everybody into panic and be like, all right, we got to figure out how to get the fuck out of here. But now you see one person who tries to find the easier path of escape in life by killing themselves and getting out of here, or at least what they believe would be the better and easier path. Taro seems to be somebody who also had a very similar option. Well, Taro is too fragile and weak to really get out and really do anything on his own, possibly could have done the same exact act if he had enough strength to be able to do so. But Taro also warning Tokyo about, this place is dangerous, please get out of here, please figure out a way to get out of here, is kind of a red flag here, where all the people who are dying or seem to be infected in some sort of way with something, and something bad's going on, have been very, very nervous and concerned for others, and are trying to escape themselves. These people should probably look into what's going on a bit more and be a bit more sus. It seems as though they are a little unsure really what's going on with Taro. Maybe I'm misunderstanding that, but I believe they didn't really seem to understand the disease and why exactly it was happening, and they seemed to be calling it a failed experiment and a whole bunch of stuff relating to that. And so it seems like they are kind of putting the blame on themselves and realizing that they fucked up and did something bad, which is likely. I think that's very much the case. They keep talking about the day of fate. I don't know if that just means the day of fate in which something happens within all the kids and something acts up and then they all end up dying or getting diseased, or if there is a disease, this disease maybe that is taken over the world. Maybe this is what this disaster type of thing was, and they've built this utopia and experimented on these people in order to kind of stop this disease from spreading and kind of build their immunity up to that. And that's why they're using man-eaters with the fusions and all that stuff that they're doing in order to kind of give them more life and kind of stop this, while some of the people here are still dealing with this sickness, and they're trying their hardest to kind of stop that. And Taro ended up being one of those who ended up, the experiment failed on trying to stop this illness and this disease that possibly could be out there from killing everybody. And maybe that's why they're calling it the day of fate, because it's just fate that they all ended up getting infected with it and all end up dying in some sort of way, if they are exposed to somehow on the outside or something. And that's why what ends up happening with Taro was the day of fate for him, and everybody else has this coming to them, as we see Tokyo throwing up in the toilet and being concerned that she might be infected as well, or might be sick with the same thing that Taro did. It is something I think I should just keep an eye on, but I'm not too positive exactly what's going on here, or if I have what's right. We end up finding out one of the guys from the ship ended up following us and coming back to us and trying to use us as bodyguards still to help him get to the certain location in which he's looking for a doctor that's going to help him, where he took part of the man-eater in which they killed, and he's trying to use that to fuse with himself, because from what he says, you gain immortal life and special like powers and become stronger if you're able to use a man-eater and fuse it with yourself in some sort of way, which leads me more on my suspicion still that Maru was formed some sort of way like that, because he does have extra powers compared to these others, and he might be immortal due to that, who even knows. But this guy seems to want to have the same exact thing, so he's trying to use Kiru and Maru to kind of protect him and follow or bring him along the way. They have a map now, and they're using the map and the locations that are listed on the map to kind of pinpoint exactly where they want to go. Some of the locations have like water percentages of how safe it is for them to drink the water that's there, and have other notes and stuff that they can use as useful. They're going to head to this place that has 100% for water, because why wouldn't they, thinking that that's got to be heaven. But there's also a place that's listed under strange people people, which just so happens to be, I guess, where we're going to be headed with this doctor. So could the strange people be the people inside of the facility? Could the strange people be the people inside of who have like experimented on a whole bunch of other people who maybe don't work inside the facility? Could they be another enemy in which we're going against here? What exactly is that? I don't know. I think it's a bit too early for us to connect our stories together and find each other. So it's probably not that, but it will be interesting to see the route that they ended up deciding to take with that. It seems like from the cremation in which they did on Taro's body, this weird looking thing kind of is involved, like it's in there somehow. Maybe it's part of whatever was fused with him or experimented on with him, or maybe it's some sort of disease that was growing inside of him and it's the thing that they were trying to get rid of or run away from. I don't really know what it was. I'm just trying to throw some stuff together here, but I am curious, and it is once again something that links to what we just saw before. While it might not be the same, a parallel image almost of this stuff, this him breaking the glass in the previous scene and us seeing all this liquid and then the chunk from the man-eater like on top of it, and it appears to look like the same exact similar type of thing on this table in which the doctors are looking at. So it's curious how similar these two stories end up keep combining to each other and looking. So I'm very, very interested to see the direction in which that goes. And I'm assuming next episode and for the future weeks, we're going to head with this guy to go figure out whatever this doctor, figure out whatever he's got to do and maybe kill another man-eater and try and use that to help with this fusion. It was nice to get some Maru backstory and understand maybe a little bit more where he came from and exactly the goals and things that he has to follow along with and do. And also to see there is some hidden stuff and some extra stuff going on within the facility that other people such as Kona know that isn't getting exposed to other people, and Kona's trying to keep that inside. Maybe it's to look out for the others in some sort of way, but maybe it's also because he hasn't wrapped his head around everything and he's trying to figure things out on his own without putting it onto others and getting them stressed or worried about more. Who really knows? It seems like everybody kind of has their own agenda in some sort of way. While some might be oblivious to what's going on, some might be very observant and trying to figure out a way to save others or save themselves. Absolutely love the show though. Everything about it. Every episode, I feel like there's enough that I kind of am interested in and I kind of think about for the whole next week until the next episode. The only thing I would say I don't like is the fact that I have to be left with very little hints, I feel like, where they give you things to kind of think about, but they don't give you enough, I feel like, to kind of form something fully and know what's going on until you get another episode and know more, which isn't bad. That's like a great thing, especially in something that has mystery and stuff involved. It's just I don't like it because it allows me to, it takes a video where I feel like I could be talking for 40-50 minutes about what's happening and I can only take that into like 20 minutes because I don't really know exactly what to add for detail wise on it, and I just kind of sit there and speculate. So I don't know, but I'm loving it so far completely. If you are liking as well, hit the like and subscribe. Do mean a lot. Feel free to follow me on Twitter and my anime list. Both links are in the description. Leave any comments about this episode or this series in general, as well as leave any recommendations for shows that you want to see me watch at some time in the future. I'll be back for episode 6, I believe, next week. You have a good one. See ya.